The venom's poison twisted her world, snatching away her senses, leaving her stranded in a void of darkness. It was like a sudden freefall, a wild rush downward, drowning her in a sea of silence and obscurity. And when the descent finally halted, she was ensnared in the deepest, blackest chasm she'd ever known. The realization struck hard. She had ventured into the realm of death, a realm crafted by a divine hand, yet banished from his light. Little did she know the Creator hovered nearby, unseen but ever present. She was really trying hard to understand something important, like a big light bulb moment, but it felt like she was just stumbling around in a dark room full of confusion. It was like a bunch of noisy instruments playing all at once, getting louder and louder, until it felt like too much to bear. She felt like she was trapped in a sad song with lots of voices all crying out. All she could do was desperately call out, "God, help me," hoping for some kind of rescue. Then, out of nowhere, this huge hand reached down and pulled her up from all the chaos, making everything quiet again. When she could see clearly again, she realized she was being lifted up from Earth and taken to some strange place she'd never seen before. In this weird place, she met these beings who were glowing with love and happiness. Their faces were kind of hard to make out, but there was something familiar about them. Even though she felt lost, she also felt a bit worried about what was happening to her physical body. She noticed that one of these beings looked a bit like her grandma, but she couldn't quite figure out who they were. So she asked about someone named Kathy, and suddenly, they started talking about her being there with them and how important it was to communicate with someone they called him. They pointed to a figure in the distance, and without saying a word, they seemed to be having a conversation with him, and somehow she could hear his thoughts in her head. She wondered why she was there, and he told her that he made her because he wanted her to be there with him. Even though she felt like she didn't deserve it, he kept on saying how much he loved her. His love was so strong, even stronger than the love she felt for her grandma. She wanted to know why there was evil in the world, and he simply said, "Because there is good." As she tried to understand why she was there in this divine place, she learned that he knew everything about her. He made her with so much care and love, like she was his special child, wrapped up in his love. Their conversation shifted when she asked about being dead. She knew she wasn't alive anymore, but she wanted to know if people got to live more than one life. He said it was up to her, like standing in front of lots of different doors. She could choose to stay in heaven or go back to Earth for a new life. She asked which door to pick, and he just said it was her choice, and it would all be a surprise. She wondered if life meant just picking doors over and over again, carrying all the sadness from past lives. He said some people choose to come back even though he'd rather they stay, and when they leave, he takes away their memories so they can have a fresh start. His love was all around her as he reminded her that she got to choose. Then he asked her, "Why would you want to leave me?" She couldn't quite remember her answer. He asked again, "How do you feel about being dead?" She didn't seem too bothered about it, but she felt sad that she couldn't say goodbye to her parents. All of a sudden, she discovered herself back in her old body, not knowing how it happened at all. Instead of staying in the warm embrace of her heavenly Father, she decided to say a sad goodbye to her parents. The weight of her choice made her feel scared and incredibly lonely. Swapping the divine for a final farewell, she went back to her planned life, now dealing with the upcoming loss of her father in 4 years, all while still struggling to say goodbye to her mother. Kathleen's unfolding story makes you stop and think. Did her experience make her question God, and could those questions make you think too? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care of yourself and appreciate the good things life gives you.